man. Looks like we're rolling live over here. We'll just roll the intro. How about it, Jay? Part 2 of WTF Week 2, 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, the world has lost its whole freaking collective mind. The people got, the Capitol got stormed, bro. It was exciting. Those guys were walking through there like this. Had their feet kicked up. They weren't angry. This wasn't an attack. This is like an organized clown fest. And I'm going, if I was doing it and I was the opposition, hell yeah, get Pelosi's laptop, drop it through thumb drives here and there, pick up as much data as you can. Let's use this crazy chaos in order to be able to pull off the biggest data swipe of all time. Why not? Why not? They were not there to kill people. They were not there to even really destroy things, only they did kill people. I mean, 6 people, and destroyed things from both sides. People got hurt, so. But all right, Gary, we got you back on the top. I want to start out this episode, which now we're going to be on part 2, but I want to start this episode by saying Gary's got some really good points. I don't think anybody's had any counterpoints to what he's saying specifically. Jay's definitely thrown up a few counterpoints on the overall understanding of what he's saying. And Gary, you know what? Tonight's show, I'm going to put you up on 3 minutes here. Because I really want you to talk about what's going on. Like, okay, we're down to the brass tacks. We were talking in the last episode about the Capitol incident. We'll just call it that. You're saying payback is hell, karma is a beast. If we didn't stop people then, why aren't we stopping people now? I do want to point out that the police tried to stop people. But other than that, they just weren't that successful. And so, all right, Gary, prepared. I'm going to throw you up top. If you don't mind, go ahead and give us your thoughts on, like, why were they there? What was the purpose? Were they sorry about the outcome? And where does this leave the movement on the right? Go ahead, Gary.
Start to 3 minutes.
Well, like you said, where were the police? Why, some of them didn't. A lot of the police I heard stood down. I mean, that's what I heard. Who knows what the facts are anymore? But I think a lot of the police that stood down and let them come through to begin with were a lot of them that were pissed off because of the way they were treated back when the riots were over the summer, defund the police, this and that. And I think a lot of the police were on the side, so to speak, of the Republicans, what they stood for law and order. Trump was always saying he's for the police and the law and order and this and that. So, of course, people wonder how they got in so easily and why they weren't prepared. Maybe a lot of them were just letting them go by. But it did come right down to it. They were stopping them once they got inside the Capitol, and a lot of things were trying to be stopped. But, there's too many got in, and then it got out of hand. I think the reason why everybody was there was because they were upset the way the voting system went down. They believed that there was an unfair election. There was cheating. They believed that the computer systems that have any kind of voting over the computer systems, anything could be changed. And they believe a lot of the votes were changed all of a sudden. Trump was winning some of these states.
Hold on, you got time. Go ahead, Gary.
Trump was winning in some of these states and some of these communities. When they went to bed at night, and the next morning, all of a sudden, 100,000 out of the blue. Boom, it changed the election. Either it was done by a computer or fake ballots. They had a lot of evidence that the 5 different governors were actually presenting or talking about that day before the riots took place. And I don't believe a lot of these governors from the Republican Party are going to lie about that.
Politicians don't lie.
Reputation. Well, I'm not saying they're not going to lie, but to stake the reputation and say that, hey, the unfair voting here there was a lot of fake votes. There was this and that, the mail-in voting. There was a lot of fraud going on. And I think the people that show up at the Capitol, over 300,000 people or more, that's what they thought the election was actually stolen. That's why they showed up to show.
Thank you.
Show the government that, hey, it's
okay.
And they were upset about it. And then why it went to how it escalated like it is, like the other gentleman here, Bald said that sometimes he thinks there's actually groups that help instigate that to go too far, so to speak. I heard a lot of the people that were for Antifa, whoever Antifa is, I don't even know who Antifa is or what that is exactly, but they had their mega caps on backwards, and you look in the photographs too. You see which ones had the backwards caps. Are they up front? And what were they doing? So
Yeah, there was a fair amount of that.
yeah. So anyway, that could be part of it. It went too far, but I think it escalated too far. I don't think Trump really instigated it. He was just there, happy to see his supporters. But now I think because it went to where it went, I think that tarnished his presidency at the end, and I think he's gonna have a hard time trying to run again in 4 years, even if he wants to. So
Okay, wrapping it up tight. That was great. Joseph, I'm going to throw you 3 minutes on the clock. Here you go, brother.
No, give it to Vlad. Vlad's
Oh,
ready.
Vlad's got something?
Do I? I don't know. What are we
Vlad don't
talking
got nothing.
about?
He's chilling. Come on. It's
I'm
you,
chilling.
Jay. I got you head to head. Look at the screen, bro. Look at the screen. This is a head to head. And you got 258. Good luck.
Okay, the belief. Where is this belief that the elections were fraudulent? Like, where is this belief coming from? The God, or you're pointing up to God? Vlad. 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 Wait, you're in Canada. You're pointing south, right? The devil? No, just kidding. So, so no, but I don't understand where this belief comes from. You mentioned it a few times, Gary, in your 3 minutes, and that there's this belief. Now, my understanding is that your other leader, Rudy Giuliani, was around in 35 different, different cases, court cases around the country, fighting the false allegations, right? Now, whatever they were, I don't know what you have to say that as far as what was actually done that was fraudulent to create this problem. My understanding is that when Trump came into power 4 years ago, everybody was like, holy shit, how did this happen? We need to batten the hatches. We need to tighten everything up. We need to ratchet everything down. And everything got tighter. Everything got more exemplary as far as getting shit, as far as the people in government, their asses tightened up and everything got more efficient. Okay? Because nobody wanted to get their ass chewed out by Trump. And so and so what happens is everybody got efficient. They don't want to have another bad election cycle where they feel like it's been rigged or lost or whatever the hell like happened last time with over 200 or 2 million more votes, whatever it was for what's her name. And so yeah, I disagree. I have a disagreement. I think that I'm not. It's all hearsay. If we're gonna go courtroom stuff, it's all hearsay that you're saying, and there's no relevance. There's no facts to what you're giving and what anybody's given so far. And so it's just this false belief system that and then this, what was that, the Stockholm syndrome. People are stuck in this space of belief or disbelief, and now they have to unwind out of it. It's like when you see these witch shows or people get a magic spell over them, right? And then at the end the witch gets killed or dies, or the spell, and then all of a sudden the big monster turns back into a little rabbit or whatever the fuck, right? And so it's like, this is what's happening in our country. You just saw the other day, the day after, you got what's her name? This transportation secretary, Elaine Chao, left. Betsy DeVos, she left. I thought that was like a miracle. I thought that was like, oh, the ding dong, witch is dead. The witch ding, and then all of a sudden, poof, poof,
All right,
poof.
so you know what? This is
All right,
a
3
unique
minutes.
issue, and we got people that really want to speak. Hey, what about you guys? Would you be interested in speaking? Anybody else?
Justine, Bill.
Go for it.
Bill?
I was just really surprised about the whole thing at the Capitol. I mean, all the bullshit that just happened, and I just can't believe that people would actually go and just get themselves to that point, in their lives to actually do something like that. I mean, that's just disgraceful of everything.
It's so disappointing. It's just, it takes away everything that America has been set for and been about, and just it was heart-wrenching.
Thousands of people are getting arrested now because people are posting all the pictures on social media about people inside the Capitol, stealing stuff, like that guy, smiling with the podium, and the guy wearing that fur hat, he got arrested, and months over almost thousands of people got arrested. You know, and
Wow, I
the
didn't
fact
know that.
that an officer got killed. You know,
That's pretty rough.
yeah, it
That's a tough
is.
one.
I mean, it's
It's also disgraceful to see the difference, when the Black Lives Matter, um, everything happened, how everything was deployed. And with this, it was, there's a lot of inside forces that were there to protect the Capitol, and they didn't. So that's really heart-wrenching as well,
Wow. So disappointment. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
now they're saying that there might be, that's why they're, bringing in the National Guard and up into the security now, at the Capitol, before the inauguration, and they're fencing it off, security, National Guard everywhere, and there's even talk about, how the intelligence of the government, the FBI and everybody else saying that there might be, somehow a war,
Okay.
an attack on the Capitol at that point. So, I mean, as far as we know that, it's like a 50-50 shot where, shit can happen or, it won't.
Wow.
Another thing too, I mean, we've already gone through so much. I mean, we've gone through COVID, we've gone through so much this year. And one thing that I have listened to and have heard from actually family members that are maybe older, or they have political
10
belief.
seconds.
And and it's just, they're scared to come out of their houses at this point. And that's the part that hurts the most, is the fear that people are
That was a
having
good
around
one.
this.
And you know what? I think I'm in full agreement. It's getting weird. I literally have reports of people saying that the world's going to end on January 18th. And now that I've talked to you guys a little bit, I'm starting to see that as like potentially they're talking about a race war. Is that what's happening, Jay? Am I missing the point of this? I mean,
Well,
it
you
looks
know,
like we had a
January
good hot
18th.
minute from everybody. Vlad,
Well, Vlad,
do you want to say anything on it?
I think everything has been said already. Let's move on.
Yeah, okay. And but so what I was going to do, special case scenario, just because we got it set up and it's a big topic. I'm over here trying to change the clock. It's not working. Okay, here we go. What I was thinking is now, instead of 3 minutes, we're going to do a minute and a half each. And this is going to be like you get to rebut what Jay was saying. And then Jay will get his finish off. And then we'll move on. This is a ripe topic. I'm pretty sure this day, not only will it live in infamy, but also it's going to live in our programming catalog when we do the Great Internet Debate Game Show.
yes. Game show.
So we're going 130 head to head. I want a clean argument. Are you ready? Go, Gary.
Okay. Well, I don't believe that the all the election fraud and things that they're claiming are lies. For one, a lot of the governors and the judges in some of those states are just dismissing a lot of it. Who knows what the information they're getting from above to not even look at some of this evidence. I believe there was a lot of evidence. I mean, did you see the videos of the suitcases coming out when they closed, coming underneath the tables? Do you see the ladies pull out the suitcases full at night when they send everybody home? They have videos.
Did you watch the whole story? Did you listen to the whole story?
No.
Or just watch the video?
Pause, Jay.
No, I was watching the video, but I mean, what I'm saying is, what I don't like is how the news, a lot of the media and the news, CNN and such, they when they're saying they use the word lies, or they use the word lie rather than saying the alleged evidence that they have on the election, but they come right out and say the lies that President Trump is saying, or the so-and-so's President Trump is saying. They should say they should use the word, the alleged evidence that they have about voter fraud, this and that, but they don't. All those media stations say actually come out and say lies, where, I think they should use different verbiage where, this is an alleged evidence and stuff, or this is that, but they come right out and call all those lies. I just can't see how five different governors and if not more from the Republican Party were fighting for it, and they also believe in it. And it just doesn't make sense. 300 people show up at the Capitol or more to fight for what they believe was an unfair election. That's what they're basically doing.
Exigent circumstances. I believe that's what the FBI calls it when they can't help but break the law. So maybe that's what the Dems did. All right, Joseph. I
So-
got you over here in the blue corner, and you got 1 minute 30 to put it on them, and then I'm gonna bring in my hot minute on it.
All right. So you have these investigative reporters reporting on a topic, right? And they do their investigation and they fact check what's going on. And you can fact check things easily today with the electoral college or the electoral process because they're very they're being watched by everybody. Okay. And I don't know if you've walked into the actual electoral office
knew this was coming.
in your county, but they will share with you how things roll. And I got a chance to go down there with my daughter, and when we did the ballot, and they were, before the election, and they were slow enough to show us around and how things roll. And those two boxes that you saw come out from under the table, or go under the table and then come out from the table, was because those people were told that they can go home, and then they were told they couldn't go home, and they locked everything up under the table. Then they couldn't go home. They had to recount everything. So then they pulled everything back out. So
20 seconds. What's your hammer? Bring it home.
You're missing. Again, that's all hearsay. So you got alleged versus lies, and it's a lie because they did their homework and they saw that what he's saying is a lie.
Okay.
And
All
that's
right,
and that's where I'm at.
Here's what I got. I got one side of the argument, and this clears it up. One side of the argument says, hey, there was voter fraud. The other side of the argument says, hey, no, there wasn't. And so this protest was set up ostensibly in order to be able to voice their opinion. And so I'm just going to do it because I'm the guy controlling the screen. Let me explain everything to everybody. Sorry, everybody. This is important. I don't even think it'll take a minute. All politicians everywhere are liars. They get paid by people in order to be able to lie to their face. And this is their job. It has been since the beginning of all time. We're not a democracy. We're a republic. So get it straight from Rome, buddy. This is how it works. There was a Senate in Rome too. Maybe we forgot about that. I don't know. We are the republic, the United States of the Republic. We've never had organized honest politics ever. It's not a thing. Even Abe Lincoln had a party that was trying to do all they could to get him into office. And the truth of the matter is, and this is all I gotta say, yes, there was cheating. There's cheating in every fucking election that's ever been. Are you fucking retarded? In the 12th grade high school student government election, there was cheating. Yes, we know people cheat, but they don't have to storm your fucking Capitol building. That's my hot minute. We're moving on. What's the next topic, Jay?
Okay, there's a couple things I want to talk about. One, I think there's a confusion, and I didn't serve in the military. Did anybody serve in the military here? No. So, those that serve in the military, they take an oath, and they don't get rid of the oath until they die. Okay, the oath of service and the oath to the Constitution and all that. And so, and because the president is considered the commander in chief, it feels as if there's some confusion with expatriates or patriots or whatever, soldiers, ex-veterans in our country, and because they want to follow the Constitution, that they need to follow what the president says. And now the president's been impeached twice. And so it's just like Trump
That's not
is
accurate.
now when on the 20th when the new president comes in. Hold on a second. When the 20th when the new president
Trump
comes
has
in,
never been
will they stop there?
He has never been impeached. He has been brought.
Well,
to
the articles of impeachment were drafted
before
today.
the
Yeah, okay,
Senate,
fine.
But he's never been impeached. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So the last time he wasn't impeached, the first time?
No.
They just
No, the
Only by the
Republicans
Senate.
own the fucking House and the Senate.
All
Wasn't
right.
never gonna
So-
happen.
It'll happen next week.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah,
In 2
and then
weeks.
he's gonna go to which jail? Tell me which jail that former presidents go to, Jay. Tell me.
There's a room below the White House, I heard.
I don't think so. That man is
There's a
owned
rubber room.
wholesale by the powers that be, United States of America. His butt will be watched and covered like a hawk, worse than anyone else. But no, this man will not go to jail. It's ridiculous. A sitting or deposed president has never been to jail after his stint as president. And Tricky Mo freaking Dick, guess what? He was caught, busted, and convicted and impeached. He still didn't go to jail. So this ridiculous talk about taking Trump out, it's ridiculous. This is about stopping 4 years from now. This is about taking back control. Period. Fuck. Jay.
And law and order. Let's bring law and order back into the place. Now, what about the freedom of speech, you guys? Let's talk about the freedom of speech and then versus what's not allowed to be spoken.
Ooh. Who you throwing that to, Jay? Who gets that
one?
That?
Exceptions to free speech.
I don't think we've been having free speech because the way a lot of people I know said, Facebook, a lot of the big tech has been censoring a lot of people what they've been saying. So I think free speech that's what's pissing people off too. They started a whole new Facebook type page called Parler. A lot of Republicans are going on this new Facebook page because
not anymore.
Everything they're saying was been censored. I mean,
Amazon shut it down.
I think
they got censored.
You know that, right?
That's what I heard. No, I heard they're going to try to. I heard they're going to try to shut that down. But, right, because it was on their platform.
Your servers are dead.
Yeah, but someone's got to find another server that's not biased to do something. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. I think we're all in trouble. It's not just Republican and Democrat Party. When companies are actually shutting down something like Parler or Facebook is being censored. YouTube. There are things that I had friends post on Facebook that they would toward the end they were actually putting a little black thing on the little gray thing on the bottom said this. Before I could even read, I got to click on it, and it was saying fact check or this has been censored by Facebook. If you want to read it, check the fact first or whatever. Like, who are these fact checkers? I don't even trust the fact checkers. So I mean, no one trusts the media. The media has control of all of us, and I think it's when they're shutting things down and they're censoring us, right there, something's up. Something's not right. They just wanted Trump out of office, and I know a lot of people that mostly voted Democrat to get Trump out of office, not because what he stands for, the policies. They just wanted him out of office. I think a lot of Republicans, deep down, some of them might have, up in high levels, wanted him out of office too. He was trouble. He was, he was trying to fix up, I think, some of the corruption that was in Washington. I think he was with the fair trade dealers with China, a lot of the trade dealers and deals and something that he did. What happens is all those deals that were made, before Trump was in office, being the Democrats or any Republicans that make a lot of these deals, and these people, as I think, are getting a lot of kickbacks, or people are getting money, and things are going on. And when he starts cleaning up everything, like I think he was doing, people are pissed off on both sides. So they just wanted, a lot of people just wanted him gone like that. But the regular American people themselves, the ones that actually shut up the Capitol, they are not involved in all what goes on in the government. They just what they saw was someone that was them doing what they thought, and they were pissed off that they believed that the whole government, there's some kind of corruption there with the voting, and there was something that was there. And it's not just to vote Trump in, so to speak. It was just there's something was going on, and they were pissed, and there was a lot of people who show up, and you don't get people showing up like that if something's not up. Just, something was not right. I can tell you that right now. I mean, this is once in a lifetime thing. People storm the Capitol. There's something wrong here. There's something that's been wrong with the election.
It's a belief system.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think there's two sides of people's beliefs, and some people believe that there's this Trump cult. And I'm like, no, dude, the Republican cult has been around since the 80s. My dad went to public, or what is it called? Promise Keepers, dude. I don't know if anybody know about the family, but they're the Christian head who controls every single president that's ever been in office. And there is documented footage and video footage, as well as communications between the presidents and the guy who runs this Christian organization. And the reality of it is, dude, every side is gunning for every other side, period. It don't matter if Democrats are in or Republicans are in, they're doing the same work. It's the same thing. It's like one's a left hand and one's a right hand.
Right.
They're on the same body, bro. Literally.
You're right. Right. That's right. And what happened with the Capitol, I think they all believe that there was an attack on them personally.
Okay.
No matter whose side they were on, and they're not happy about that.
That
It's like
sounds
almost
like
like they're
the
all
bridge,
being
Jay.
exposed, not just Democrats, not just Republicans. You know, something's happening there. You know, and
I think Jay cut out. Jay, you there? All right, same verse.
Me.
He's cutting out. Yeah, my internet. Strangely
Like
enough,
trouble.
Gary,
Why
can
do you
believe
say
this?
you were on trouble?
Yeah, my internet is dropping.
because I think the way the media is, you know, so biased things, they're censoring things, they're, you know.
Okay, here's a question. Here's a question for you. Where do you go for your media? Where do you get your news?
Well, I mean, I'm talking Facebook for one. A lot of things that were posted, they stop doing it.
Facebook is not a news channel. Facebook is entertainment. Where do you go for your news articles? Do you go to OANN or Fox News or CNN?
I watch Fox. I watch Fox News and I watch CNN. I go back and forth, and it's amazing. Okay. It's amazing. There's difference. There's no like I said, CNN calls it lies. Fox News calls it, you know, possible evidence.
I've noticed this too. Sometimes they'll even say so-called on the more conservative websites, reputable news sources.
Right, they change the verbiage, so to speak, you know, and
listen. Language is used to manipulate us. That's what the language is there for, to manipulate. So if you get your news from several different sources, go to Al Jazeera. Don't be afraid to go to RT. You know, go get your news from all over the world and see what they're saying, and then make up your own mind.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was telling my friends. Watch Fox one day, then watch CNN one day, and then kind of get your own. Try to figure out what's really happening.
But get out of that box too. Get out of those two boxes. Look outside of those two spaces for your news.
That's the bridge, man.
Not
I
Facebook.
think this is a good
Not
place
Facebook.
to, like, bring it into the episode, because I mean, basically, I'm gonna have to edit them together now, but not just because of that. And I've also haven't been feeling too well the last couple of days. Some stomach issues from drinking too much coffee and alcohol over the holidays. So, Jay, do you got like one more topic? Because right now I'm having technical difficulties. The screen's not looking right. I'm kind of at a point where I think we made a bridge. I think we just kind of brought the two sides together. And I think we all like have just publicly agreed that shit is fucked up. And you really got to go outside the mainstream and you have to get it. So, I mean, at this point, I don't even have anybody on my screen moving. Can you guys see me moving? I don't know. It's getting creepy.
Yeah. But we're all frozen on your.
Yeah, that's how it is on the video feed. So I recorded it because this audio is 100% going on the podcast, and the live video that made it out, it'll be good too. But I'm gonna have to edit all together, delete these lives, and create one episode from it. What else you got, Jay?
Well, to sum up, hate speech.
Oh,
no, Vlad, what do you got? What do you got, Vlad?
Okay, I got what I got. I got this guy in England who wrote some lines of code to discover if something is deep fake video or not, because these deep fake videos are getting really, really good, and you will swear on the Bible that you know somebody's saying something when it's just a puppet. Wow. So this guy devised a code to basically, it's an AI that just cracks everything and can tell you if it's deep fake or not, which is really good for us. Thank God.
Nice.
That's amazing.
You know, I'm thinking the Democratic Party and the Republican Party wants us to fight like we are amongst ourselves, while they can continue doing what they're doing. I think they're using. You know what I'm saying? They got us so messed up thinking this and thinking
divide
that.
And conquer.
Why? Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're putting each other. You know, and I can't believe how divided we are right now too. And it's just you know, even the racial divide now too. I never even thought of race at all. I mean, I just didn't think it. I didn't even think it like existed, so to speak, in my eyes anymore. You know what I mean? And then now all this is making things worse. Oh, I didn't. I think, you know, hey, we're all the same. We're all here in America. We're all Americans. So I just don't care. I don't care what color you are.
It ain't like that on the east side of Cleveland, brother. Let me tell you.
I used to live in Cleveland. So I used to live in
Racism
Cleveland,
is
so I know.
very
Scary.
much alive and popping. On both
I used to
sides
live in
of-
LA too, so I know what it's like there.
LA's not the same. LA's not the
Multiple around
same.
here.
I'm with you.
See, I think that's the thing is that the race, it doesn't, you don't experience ill will. It's just causing more and more stress, and it's just dividing more and more. And then you've already got,
Yes.
you know, again, we're already in self-isolation on top of it. So it's like, oh my God, you know, how much more can we, how much further can they pull community away from us? You know,
Okay.
it's unfortunate.
So, categories of speech that are given lesser
Hey,
or no
Jay.
protection by the
Jay.
federal
Hey, Jay.
government.
Hey, Jay.
Can you hear me?
We had a little hot potato going around. I think if Bill wants to speak on it, I think he's the last one.
Oh, sorry about that.
Little wrap up, Bill.
Well, I'm just, like I said, I'm just torn between, what's going on between, between the Capitol being, they say that, it was supposed to be like a peaceful protest, and then what turns into a damn attack on the Capitol. People died, good, cops and, random people, like that lady that just got shot through the door, and
It's crazy.
she didn't deserve that. But at the same point, she put her own life on the line.
Yeah, that's true.
She knew probably in her heart that, something bad, could happen while she was in the Capitol, amongst hundreds of other people, breaking windows, breaking everything that's in the Capitol. And she went, bust in, trying to get the door, and then she died from it. So, people go out there and they do these things.
Crazy.
Yeah, people go out there and do these things, and they don't think about the, the consequences that could happen to them.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. Man, it's been a good show, Jay. If you want to put your little icing on top, I guess I'm to the point where I'm ready to go.
Just add, all right. Well, just add drugs and alcohol to any party and you'll have chaos. But, which I think happened in DC. Just real quickly, categories of speech that are given lesser or no protection by the First Amendment and therefore may be restricted include obscenity, fraud, child pornography, speech integral to illegal conduct, speech that incites imminent lawless action, speech that violates intellectual property law, true threats, and commercial speech such as advertising. So,
You forgot speech impediment.
yeah, right. So anyway, so this is that's what the United States Supreme Court considers to be unlawful, and we need to just focus in on not doing that, being civil to each other, being just having nice civil discourse, communicating with each other, hearing each other out. That's what I really like about this show, because we can get different people on, have different viewpoints, discussions, and hear people out, and hopefully get to the bridge that Josh and I were talking about. So,
Hallelujah.
so Josh, give us a recap on the bridges we created, and we'll sign off.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for coming to the show. We went over a few things that got heated there. We had a little test run. I think every week I'm going to pin somebody against someone else and get that 3 minute, 130, because that's actually the time frames for the Great Internet Debate Game Show, which Gary, Vlad, we're expecting to see you whenever we do that. You guys, you too. We want you as contestants, and we want you on the show as judges. And, that's a whole separate wing of what we're doing here. But I feel like we're getting really good. Everybody that comes to the show every week pretty much has the same heart. We have a few people that incite riots, which I'll be honest is rough for me as the moderator. But the truth is, I think it's exciting. I think it's really exciting. I mean, when two crazy people are not listening to each other, going off, and then by the end of the show, even that last show Vlad was on, I know it was despicable, but by the very end of it, we're like, well, I think we can all agree with one middle point, and just left it at that. Like it wasn't.
Excuse me, can I interrupt you? Excuse me, can I interrupt you? Excuse me, can I interrupt you? No, wait, no. Excuse
it was
me.
like that. But it was good intensity, and it got people back in the mix, and so that's not what we're doing. And moving forward, we're very strict on the clock, and we're organizing our hot potato rounds, and we're doing a better job, I believe, on the show entirely. I mean, not just because I'm awesome and amazing at the tech stuff, but also because you guys keep coming back. That's honestly, I've done over 40 hours of live podcast. I have, a 2-hour live show I did for an entire season on cable network. I had an AM radio show. I've done a lot of shows. But this show really has allowed me, because I didn't have to start with actors. I didn't have to start with people that were used to this thing. It was people that were fresh and new, and we're all growing together, and the background's changing, and how to do everything is all new. And I feel like if we approach this whole next year, instead of worrying about the riot, instead of worrying about the lies in politics, which are all true, all of them are true. Every side is true. There's not a true side in politics. There just can't be. It's not allowed. Because if those people who are in politics, if no one else voted, they would still put their name on the ballot, and they would vote for themselves. And anyone who's willing to do that cannot have your best interests at heart. So, I mean, that's my wrap on all of it. I agree with Gary. I agree with Jay. It's tough. I agree with, I agree with everything everybody was saying on this channel. And the last thing I want to say is good night, New York.